King. Welcome to Talk Kings, where real kings talk about real things.
Hey man, thanks for tuning in to Talk Kings, where real kings talk about real things. My name is Donnell Brett. We got LK the Shark over here, Larry Kennedy, my man Johnny Brooks, Big J, and the one that didn't get the memo because we got on polo shirts today, Big Hawk, Buffalo Bills fan. Dietrich Avis, everybody, man. Hey, listen, we're going to have a good time, guys. Thanks for coming and chilling with me at the bar. We're going to have a good time today. Well, we're going to talk about some real things. All of y'all got kids. Some of y'all older than mine. Some of y'all, I got the youngest one. I got younger. I got 7 or 8 year old. Yeah, I went back to the well, you know. Somebody, they didn't tell me. I forgot about the part when the kid cried at night. I forgot that part between Malik and Malia. But was the way that you raised as a kid was raised? So you were raised 2-parent household, single mother, single grandmothers, whatever. Your sons, daughters, some things that they do, right? Was the way that grandmother or whoever raised you, the way that they raised you, do you raise your son and daughter the same way, Johnny?
Yes. You know, it's basically in my mother household, do your chores, stay out of the way, you know, and yeah, but there were basically it won't really no hardship in my household coming up, but me and my wife don't be on the same accord, you know, so I try to implement how I was raised. My wife is 6 years younger than me. She implement how she was raised, so the kids be more on like a confused level. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know. My mother, my thing was everybody got a chore. My wife tried to be the savior of the house by doing everything. I'd be like, why you just don't make J-Mon take out the trash? I can do it, you know. So we in a 6-year age difference, and what she want out the kids, I want different. I just try, like I tell my wife, I said make a menu for the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, what you gonna cook? Cause I seen my mama live by order. You know, we don't do no laundry on Sundays, but my wife and kids, they wash all times of the night, all times of the day. You know, it just our household good, but it's just like we're on two different accords. It ain't no biggie because don't nobody really clash, but I try to implement the way I was raised to my kids, you know.
For the most part, I do. My dad was kind of stern.
Your dad was a what?
Yeah, a police and a pastor. So you either was gonna do what he said. Yeah, you either learn how to do it or you gonna learn how to be sneaky. So my dad was pretty rough, and one thing, you know, my dad, great dad, great. I mean, great. I felt he was a little rough on me, but he taught me how to outwork anybody. And that's the main part I take from my dad when it comes down to my kids. You never let nobody outwork you. Because of the times now, I've kind of switched a little bit. You know, needless to say, I wasn't really taught to follow dreams. I was taught that you work hard and provide. With my kids, I want them to follow their dreams. Even if they seem far-fetched, I want you to kind of follow those dreams. But as far as discipline, you know, you got a curfew. If I say it, that's law. So I did follow in certain aspects, but I do give a little more because I know what I did when I was their age. I try and look back at some of the things that I did and say, okay, that was a little bit too much. So I do follow some things.
What with your boys?
No, I don't raise my boys like I was raised. I felt like the times are completely different. I never went on a vacation when I was a kid. So me now raising my kids, I'm tough because I went through my own experiences. So it's one of the reasons I'm tough with my boys. But as far as raising them like my grandmother raised me, absolutely not. In some sense of the word, they have it much easier. I try to give them a little more leeway. I don't say a lot, a little more leeway problem than I had. I try to give them things that I was never afforded. Then when we start talking about fathers and all those other things we talk about, you know, I want to be the father that I didn't have. So I give my kids things. I wanted to make sure I bought my kids cars when they turned 16, when they got their license. I wanted to make sure my kids got their first place. I wanted to make the down payment, make the first couple months payments. I wanted to do all those things that was not allotted to me. Now, call me soft, you might. But it's a lot of things you're not gonna call me, you're not gonna say, I'm not a good father. So I stepped in and I did everything that a man and a father is supposed to do. Now, me, because of the position I played in sports, a lot of people wanted my kids to be like me. I was the #1 defensive back in America coming out of high school. Nobody was better. So my kids not going, you can't ask my kids to be me. Because that was gonna be tough on them. But with that being said is, just give me some hard work, give me some dedication, get your butt to college, graduate, do all the things you need to do, and I guide you the rest of the way.
Do you? I became a father at 21, I think, 2020. Yeah, 21, and that was kind of considered young when I became a father. 20 years old, I was 20 years old. But now, and even then, but now more than ever, you're seeing a 17-year-old father or 16-year-old, 17-year-old father. Do y'all think that, and then they coming from what, single parent households where they would basically, look, they 16 years old having a kid, they're not even ready for life. Now you got a whole nother life you got to worry about. Do you think that that's going to be a problem in society in the future?
I don't, because my mom had me when she was 16. Okay. I had my oldest son when I was 19. So my thing is, call it a trend, call it whatever you want. I came out okay. You see how I raised my kids. They came out okay. I married my kid's mother. And we've been married now 20 plus years. I did everything I was supposed to do as a man, a father, and a husband.
For every LK though, man, it's about 20 non-LK. And I'm probably giving you a good percentage. You are an anomaly. Like you don't happen every day. And so you damn right you came out right. But there's a whole lot in that same situation. Don't.
Well, a lot of them don't care. And society now sometimes makes it where it's easy for that parent to survive with some of the things that they're given or they're afforded with assistance. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing because, I grew up on government assistance. I mean, my grandmother, we Social Security check, food stamps, the whole 9 yards. I mean, I was poor growing up. So I get it. But at the same time, man, you gotta have options. You gotta look for a way out. You can't let this be a generational curse or trends where you grew up in the projects, you stay in the projects. Y'all, as y'all know, people that grew up in the projects, men are not usually allowed to stay in the projects. Those are usually females. Men don't get to stay in the projects. They can't stay with somebody on HUD. All these government, all these things that are allotted to females that take the male out the house, man, it affects how a kid is raised. And it affects that father 9 times out of 10, 99% of the time. Even if he want to be a good father, sometimes the system and the situation don't allow him to be the man he want to be to his kids.
That's an excellent point. We're gonna start right there, but we're gonna come back after we take a quick break. But we're gonna talk about, guys, give me some situations where your parenting at a young age definitely affected the way you took care of your son or daughter at this age. We'll be right back after we talk. After we pay some bills, go to the sponsors. We'll be right back after we go to commercial.
We have a place for you in Western Branch.
We have a place for you in Virginia Beach.
We have a place for you on the peninsula.
We have a place for you in Suffolk.
We have a place for you in Elizabeth City.
We have a place for you in Portsmouth.
We have a place for you in Chesapeake. am Dr. Angela Flowers, executive coach, educator, and founder of Envision Coaching and Consulting, a training and development agency. I specialize in equipping leaders with tools needed to improve and grow their organization through providing one-on-one coaching sessions, professional development trainings for their staff, and evaluating programs to help develop an action plan intended to promote organizational improvements. I have worked with leaders and teams ranging from education, government, small business, corporate, and most recently, nonprofits. If you're looking for a coach to help you reach your leadership goals or you want to develop your team, contact me at angela.flowers@myenvisioncoach.com.
Hey, welcome back to Talk Kings, where real kings do real things. I got my guys still hanging with me at the bar, Dietrich A. Vince, Johnny Brooks, and my man LK. Guys, we was talking about was the way that we was raised as young kids affect the way that we parent now. And I'm going to tell y'all, absolutely, it does for me. But in some different ways, you know. If somebody would have told me when I was coming up playing football that grades mattered, like I didn't take, you know, I played football, but I didn't take the grade part seriously. And I look at, you know, the reasons why I couldn't play, messed up grades and stuff like that. So I never wanted my kids to have those type of situations. And that was a light work, you know, kind of way that it affects me. But, you know, a lot of times discipline-wise or even structure of the house. Because then, you know, I don't know how y'all was raised, but you wasn't going to bring no girlfriend to stay with you at your house, you know. And so when that was proposed to me as a father in my own house, you know, I was against that. But it really just went back to how I was raised, right? So that's how I was raised. My wife was raised, she was raised differently, so she looks at it differently. So anybody got any kind of crazy quirk or, you know what I'm saying, something crazy like that? Because it's just a crazy anomaly, but it's just like my grandmother wouldn't allow that. It was no way I was going to be shacked up with my girlfriend, you know?
Well, my girlfriend and my wife, now, I wasn't allowed to go in her house. So I told her dad, thank you for all the mosquito bites. Because at the end of the day, man, look, he had me sitting outside the floor for many hours all through the night. And I told him thank you for a lot of things. I mean, he wouldn't let her give me a ride home, so either I had to run all the way home, which is about 5 miles, ride my bike, all these things. I blame him for a lot of things, but I thank him too.
Because you're fast, right? And they always say they chase rabbits in Florida.
And I even knew where the dog house was at. Where I knew when I needed to start jogging before I take off running, the whole 9 yards. So yeah, so there's certain things. I mean, my grandmother was a little more lenient, of course, when she would come to my house. She could come inside the house. I mean, she couldn't go in the room, but she could come inside.
Because she stay overnight.
No.
Would you allow that now? Would you allow, when Chance was in high school, they had both of your boys out the house, would you allow it?
No.
I wouldn't allow it myself. You know, my daughter think I'm harder on her than I am my boys. But I try to tell her it's not hard. It's just, my boys, they date girls, you know, maybe. January, my son got a girl. March, he got a different girl, which I tell him that's not good, but I accept it from my boys. But my daughter think I'm hard on her because I don't accept it from her. You're not gonna do that, you know. So she called me one day and say, Dad, can guy come over? I said, wait till I get there. I get there, the guy there, because my wife overruled what I said. So this, you know, like I tell my wife, it's not that she can't have a boyfriend, but they outside on the corner at my house. I don't know, this boy robbed somebody last night. I don't know what kind of life he living. Somebody come right past, do a drive-by. You know, I just try to protect my daughter, but she don't understand. She think I'm being harder on her, but it's not that. It's not that. She not having nobody stay over there for sure. Her or the boys.
Well, I agree with you. I mean, even my sister, I think about even how I managed my sister. Because I was the male in my sister's life. And wasn't no man finna come over there in my house. Nobody was gonna sit in the house at that point with my sister. I don't care whether I was home, my grandma was home. If I come home and my sister got a man in my house, that's a problem. So one of her boyfriends, I wrote his name on a 2x4. I said, you come in my house, when I get there, it's gonna be problems. So he never came to my house.
Where the 2x4 at?
I'm still on my grandma's bed.
I think, man, we got a lot of different. It's the way we raised, man. You raised, however you was raised. Your family had values. That's where that word family values come from. I believe that we all try to also instill those same family values in our new house. The issue becomes, or maybe not, your mate in the process because they were raised totally different. Any kind of quirky stuff like that, D, that you've heard?
Man, I gotta kind of agree with Johnny. You know, people say you gotta treat the kids kind of the same when it comes down to boy and girl, but with my son, you know, it's one. I'm not saying it's right, but when you think about it, okay, I got 2 daughters. So, you know, I'm a little bit more strict when it comes down to guys, you know, and all the other stuff.
We know ourselves.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's it.
You know yourself.
Right.
That's a problem for me. I want to meet you. I want to see you in your face. I want to talk to you and let you know how serious I am. Now, with my son, I do like Johnny. I say, hey, you need to stop switching girls. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just tell them you want to be friends. But with my daughters, I'm a little bit more stern. Like, okay, my oldest daughter turned 15, and her little birthday party had a little sleepover thing, but they went to the movies and to eat first. I didn't know that a guy was actually coming to eat and go to the movies until he was there. So they couldn't figure out why my face was screwed up. Because I'm saying, I know I said 16. And why is he here? It goes back to the subject we talked about a while ago with the blended. But, you know what I'm saying? It bothered me because I'm saying, you know, 16 is the age I said. So I probably did it wrong. I don't even think I spoke to the guy, man. I just kind of looked at him and just let him know, you know, if there's ever a problem.
You got it.
Yeah, you know, ain't gonna say that on camera, but if there's a problem, we'll say that.
Yeah.
So that was my only thing, man, with the parenting of the different styles of parenting, just the age of.
But you gotta set them boundaries.
Yeah.
I mean, when there's another male present, a young male, and that's just like with my sister, I had to set boundaries, and we was gonna obey them boundaries, or it was gonna be real problems. So when there's a girl involved, it's just different, you know, especially as big brother, as father, whoever, the boundaries gonna be different than they are for your son. I got 2 boys. I know I treated my boys different than I know how I did my sister.
That's the truth.
It's Dietrich, I always envied you because I was like, man, I don't know too many guys know how to do it. I think I envy Nick too because the way y'all interact with y'all daughters, right? It's amazing to me. And when I saw that you did your daughter hair, I was like, ain't no way. I know I can't do my daughter hair. How in the world do these dudes know how to do that? Like, who taught you how to do that?
You know what, Brick? That came when my first wife passed. When she passed, my daughter was in pageants. My daughter was cheerleading. So, just like anything else, I got to step up to the plate. You know what I'm saying? So, I learned how to do makeup. I'm talking about, I'm a full-grown man. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing makeup.
The whole.
Listen, and you better not say nothing about it either. I'm blending colors and all that stuff for cheerleading. Pageants, and when I was doing hair, man, it was just like, yo, she's looking for somebody to take the position where my mom was. Hey, you got to fill that position. It wasn't her fault that her mom passed away. So I had to learn it. I was looking at YouTube. I'm watching other mothers doing it. I'm following them, brushing up. It wasn't nothing but a ponytail, man. I learned how to plait a little bit, but But she really appreciated that, man. So if you were in that situation, you would have did it too.
I don't know. I think I probably would have hired somebody to come. I'm gonna be honest. Like, if it happens to me today, I think I will have some girls on staff that my daughter would go see. Yeah, but I don't think I would be good. Would you try?
Yeah.
You would try?
I probably would.
Actually, my daughter just graduated last year from high school. So she go get her eyebrows, hair done, all this the night before school. So she come home, eyebrow way out here. I said, you need to clip them thing. She let me clip them. I clipped the whole eyebrow, man. Me and my daughter got a good bond. It just... You gotta try it.
Now I'm gonna say this. I think I would have tried it in your situation. I don't know if I would try it in your situation.
I mean, it just the bond that me and my daughter got. It brings you close. You already got the daddy-daughter bond, but just if your daughter just come and say, "Dad, can you wash my hair?" You wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna wash her hair. If she come to me tomorrow and say, "Dad, braid my hair," I'm gonna do it. But I just don't see myself as professional as Dietrich was. I would have to.
Hey, he made me seem like a hairdresser.
His dynamic was so different, though.
It was.
So his dynamic was just so different. So you almost have to man up.
Yeah.
Your dynamic, I ain't cutting no legs. Whatever that is, man, I ain't doing all that.
I messed it up.
Oh yeah.
We got 12 o'clock at night, all that Walgreens trying to find eyelashes and stuff. She crying and stuff. Man, it was a bad situation.
I probably would have clipped it too. I mean, if she
That
asked me.
thing was always
Let me ask you this. Why didn't she just take them off?
Because she wanted them like that. I just said it was too long. Man, them things way out here, man. They were too long.
Wow.
You decided to do it.
Listen,
Yeah,
man.
they
Hey, look.
messed it up.
hey, man. Thanks for hanging with me, man, at the bar today, man. Hey, thanks to everybody for tuning in to Talk Kings, where real kings talk about real things. Just some real guys, man. I appreciate y'all, man. We'll see y'all next week on our Talk Kings channel, social media, all our social media channels, Talk Kings. We'll see y'all again.
Talk Kings, where men talk about real life. King talk, where men come from all walks of life. Situations about life, pitfalls, God, women, and downfalls. Our lives and everything that we go through. For kings with exclusive insight to our world. Now walking the Talk Kings, where real kings talk about real things. Welcome to Talk Kings, where real kings talk about real things. Talk Kings, Talk Kings. Welcome to Talk Kings. Welcome to Talk Kings, where real kings talk about real things.
We have a place for you in Western Branch.
We have a place for you in Virginia Beach.
We have a place for you on the peninsula.
We have a place for you in Suffolk.
We have a place for you in Elizabeth City.
We have a place for you in Portsmouth. We have a place for you in Chesapeake.